Hey guys, the Super Review Show here for this Spider-Man Homecoming, finally, movie review. Spoilers everywhere in this review. So if you don't want to know anything about Spider-Man Homecoming, do not, and I repeat, do not watch this video because there are spoilers ahead for everything that is going on in the MCU with Spider-Man. Everything ahead, spoiler territory, you have been warned. So let's start with the cast of this film, shall we? This cast I thought it was a genius cast because you had the right age groups of people, you had the right side characters of Iron Man, Aunt May, of Marissa Tomei's Aunt May was great. You know, seriously, it was a wonderful film and I really enjoyed it. But here's the cast rundown of Spider-Man: Homecoming. Tom Holland as Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. I know it's pretty bad. Zendaya as, believe it or not, MJ. That's revealed at the very end of the movie, surprisingly. Michael Keaton as the Vulture. Great. I'm going to get into him a lot. He was a great villain. Marissa Tomei as Aunt May, or just May as they like to call her. And Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, a.k.a. Iron Man. You know, anyways, he was a very pivotal part of this film. So let's get into it, shall we? So Spider-Man: Homecoming opens up set a few years after the film opens with the Avengers wreckage. The first Avengers film, and like the alien spaceships coming through and everything. Those they're cleaning up the Chitauri, and Shield takes over, I guess, or something takes over. I think it's Shield, but the Michael Keaton, the Vulture, and his crew are like, hey, what are you doing here? And this is our job to clean up. This is our job. This is our family. Blah blah blah. Oh, well, you can't do that. And they take over, and he gets really pissed off. But he takes some of it for himself, thus creating the Vulture and also the Shockers in this as well. So, and that's how the film opens up. And the next, and I will say this: during the Marvel logo that comes up, it's no longer the flipping pages. It's the Marvel Studios one where it's like they have all the films and they have all the characters popping up. It's really cool now. In that, the composer was Michael Giacchino, and Michael Giacchino put the original 60s Spider-Man, Spider. He put that in that score, the music of that in the theme as well. I thought that was so awesome. Like, for those of you who are hardcore like Spider-Man or nerd or hardcore comic book fans of Marvel, you probably picked up on that. So good job for you guys. But yeah, so Peter Parker is already Spider-Man now. He's not. We don't need to see another origin. We didn't need to see another origin film with this. He's already Spider-Man. He already got bit, and his best friend figures out he's Peter Parker. He's Spider-Man. His Aunt May finds out at the very last shot of the film, where she's like, "What the?" And instead of saying the F word, she actually goes up. She's like, Peter, what is going on? She kind of like reacts to him with his mask off, with the costume on. Iron Man plays a very interesting role in this because he's the one who found Peter in the first place and gave him the suit. And also the film also after it opens up with the Chitauri, it is Spider-Man actually apparently during the Captain America Civil War battle at the airport. He actually how was the best way to put this? He recorded a lot of the stuff there, like Giant Man, and you know what I mean. So like, it was really cool how they kind of like backed everyone up in the history really quick within the first 5 minutes of the film. I thought that was a brilliant thing that they did, and I really loved how they did that. So then we get into he's in high school. He's back from the Stark internship, as they call it. Really, he's with Iron Man and doing his thing as Spider-Man. It's just and throughout the film, he go figure. He starts to track down the Vulture's actions. He starts to do this. He starts to figure out different ways about his suit, and it's a really good. I don't want to say the words coming of age movie, but it's a really good movie that for younger kids. I mean, I'm 18. I'm going to be 19. The Peter Parker in this is 15, and it's a great. I don't want to say great coming of age movie because there's a lot of things about coming of age movies that don't really happen with this. That didn't happen here. But it's a good thing, because you realize how to be independent, you realize how to be this or that. And it's a really nice film on so many levels. They added so many things to the film. The part where they go to Washington, D.C. is incredible. It's such a great Spider-Man film. A lot of people coming out of the theater that I know said, look, it's just as good as like Spider-Man 2. It's so good. Like the 2004 Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock. Like it's this, it's that. I'm like, okay, well, let me give it a shot. I saw it literally last night at an 11:30 showing at a drive-in, an hour away from where I live, and I'm pretty tired. I got back home with my girlfriend about 2:30 in the morning. So yeah, it explains a lot. But it was a really long story short. We enjoyed the film a lot. She's a big Spider-Man fan. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and it's just a lot of people were comparing it to Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man like the Sam Raimi ones, because we're never gonna get those again. We're never gonna get that again. We only have those three. The Amazing Spider-Man films ran its course. And this is the new Spider-Man now. Probably for the next, they said 5 films. This is one of 5. So the next 4 films, you have a lot to do there. Being in all seriousness, though, this film, if you haven't seen it yet, you really should. Because what we caught the end. Like I said, we went to a drive-in, and we caught the end of Planet of the Apes. And just a quick note: Planet of the Apes has been dominating the box office the moment it came out. Like so many people were going to see that, and Spider-Man took a dip. So if you have the chance to go see Spider-Man, go see Spider-Man and then go see Apes, because I have to do a review on that too. Spider-Man Homecoming, to me, you've seen him on the show before, Andrew Schultz. He's a very close friend of mine. He said to me, it's like neck and neck with me with Spider-Man 2. It's neck and neck. It's neck and neck for us. I said, really? It's like that good, because Spider-Man 2 to me is one of the best comic book movies of all time. Like still, to this day, it still is one of the best ones. But this one does stand the ground of saying, hey, let's make a Spider-Man movie that kicks ass. And they did that. It was a great film. And I really loved it a lot. I loved it a lot, actually. I was going into it saying, oh, they might not touch on this. No, they touched on a lot of things. The suit is one of the coolest things. He names the computer in the suit Karen. It's so cool. Like the suit that Tony Stark gives him, the upgraded one. It's got computers, it's got different web styles, and they really did a nice job of upgrading his costume. And it was such a cool. Oh my god, it was so cool. Like how they just put all these little nods and other things in there into this film, and it just worked so well. And I'm so happy that it did. Because, honestly, guys, I'm not going to say I was nervous about this film, but I really, enjoyed it a lot. I was going to think, okay, it should be good. My expectations were blown away by this film. So, yes, I'm going on and on about this. But long story short, I'm going to give Spider-Man Homecoming I didn't rate it yet on IMDb, so I'm going to have to give it, honestly, absolutely, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. That's how good this Spider-Man is. Spider-Man 2 for me is still a 9 out of 10. I very young. I get it's like the nostalgia thing. It kind of hits you when you're a kid. But growing up and rewatching it a bunch of times, it still holds up. And this one, let's see how it holds up within 5 years. Let's see how it holds up within 10 years when Spider-Man Homecoming 5 comes out. Let's see how this one holds up. Let's see how this one holds up after the test of time. Because if it doesn't, so be it. If it does, so be it. Long story short, 8.5 out of 10 right here on the Super Review Show. If you have not seen Spider-Man Homecoming, do yourself a favor and stop watching this video. Get in your car, drive to your local theater, and watch this awesome movie. Because it's really good, really well done. Support Marvel, because I don't want to say that because I love DC and Marvel together, but you see what I'm saying. Support this film. It's really good. Go see it, go see it, go see it. I've said enough. But look, for all of your Spider-Man Homecoming updates and this movie review, thank you very much for watching this video. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter for all of your Spider-Man updates. Keep it locked on the Super Review Show. J-Man, off to Spider-Man. See you guys later. Thank you very much for watching this video.